108 is the natural number following 107 and preceding 109. In mathematics, 108 is an abundant number and a semi-perfect number. It is a Fibonacci number. 108 is the hyperfactorial of 3 since it is of the form 108 is divisible by the value of its phi function, which is 36. 108 is also divisible by the total number of its divisors, hence it is a refactorable number. In Euclidean space, the interior angles of a regular pentagon measure 108 degrees each. There are 108 free polyominoes of order 7. In base 10, it is a Harshad number and a self number. The equation results in the golden ratio. Religion and the arts. The number 108 is considered sacred by several Eastern religions, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, connected yoga and Dharma-based practices. Hinduism Mukhya Shivaganas are 108 in number and hence Shaiva sects, particularly Lingayats, use 108 Rudraksha beaded lace for japa. Also they recite Supreme Lord Shiva's 108 names daily during their morning Shiva Puja. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism, there are 108 Gopas of Vrindavan. Recital of these names, often accompanied by the counting of a 108 beaded mala, is considered sacred and often done during religious ceremonies. The recital is called Namajapa. Accordingly, a japamala usually has beads for 108 repetitions of a mantra. The Sri Vaishnava tradition has 108 Divya Kshetras of Lord Vishnu, called as 108 Divya Descends. The 12 prolific poet-saints called Alwars of the Sri Vaishnavites wrote devotional poetry about these 108 abodes of Lord Vishnu, which was later compiled by Nathamuni as the Divya Prabandhams, which are sacred texts in the philosophy. The well-known bas-relief carving at the famous Angkor Wat temple in Cambodia relates the Hindu story of a serpent being pulled back and forth by 108 gods and asuras. 54 gods pulling one way, and 54 asuras pulling the other, to churn the ocean of milk in order to produce the elixir of immortality. According to the Oriental architecture site, there are 5 monumental guardian gates to the fortified temple city of Angkor Thom. In front of each gate stand giant statues of 54 gods and 54 demons, which represent the churning of the ocean. Buddhism likewise. Tibetan Buddhist malas or rosaries are usually 108 beads, sometimes 111 including the Guru bead, reflecting the words of the Buddha called in Tibetan the Kangla in 108 volumes. Zen priests wear juzu around their wrists, which consists of 108 beads. The Lankavatara Sutra has a section where the Bodhisattva Mahamati asks Buddha 108 questions and another section where Buddha lists 108 statements of negation in the form of a statement concerning X is not statement concerning X. In a footnote, D.T. Suzuki explains that the Sanskrit word translated as statement is pada, which can also mean footstep or a position. This confusion over the word pada explains why some have mistakenly held that the reference to 108 statements in the Lankavatara refer to the 108 steps that many temples have. In some schools of Buddhism it is believed that there are 108 feelings. According to Bhante Gunaratana, this number is reached by multiplying the senses smell, touch, taste, hearing, sight, and consciousness by whether they are painful, pleasant or neutral, and then again by whether these are internally generated or externally occurring, and yet again by past, present and future. Finally we get 108 feelings. 6 times 3 times 2 times 3 equals 108. In Japan, at the end of the year, a bell is chimed 108 times in Buddhist temples to finish the old year and welcome the new one. Each ring represents one of 108 earthly temptations a person must overcome to achieve nirvana. In Jewish culture and numerology, Jews often give gifts and charitable donations in multiples of the number 18, associated with the Hebrew word chai, meaning alive, living, or life. See chai. The number 108 both is a multiple of 18 and contains the numbers chapter 1 and 8 that compose the number 18. Other references in the neo-Gnostic teachings of Samael Unwer. An individual has 108 chances to eliminate his egos and transcend the material world before devolving, and having the egos forcefully removed in the infradimensions. Martial arts. Many East Asian martial arts trace their roots back to Buddhism, specifically, to the Buddhist Shaolin Temple. Because of their ties to Buddhism, 108 has become an important symbolic number in a number of martial arts styles. According to Mahmuradi and Ayurveda, there are 108 pressure points in the body, where consciousness and flesh intersect to give life to the living being. The Chinese school of martial arts agrees with the South Indian school of martial arts on the principle of 108 pressure points. 108 number figures prominently in the symbolism associated with karate, particularly the GourangaUK discipline. The ultimate GourangaUK, Suparanpei, literally translates to 108. Suparanpei is the Japanese pronunciation of the number 108, while GourangaUK of GourangaUK is the Japanese pronunciation of the number 54. The other GourangaUK, Sansaru and Saipai are factors of the number 108. The 108 moves of the Yang Taiji can long form and 108 moves in the Wing Chun wooden dummy form, taught by Yip Man, are noted in this regard. The Eagle Claw Kung Fu style has a form known as the 108 locking hand techniques. This form is considered the essence of the style, consisting of an encyclopedia of Chin Na techniques, and is said to be passed down from the founder General Ufei Pak Palki Hyung. The seventh form taught in the art of Kuksul 1 translates literally to 108 technique form. It is also frequently referred to as the eliminate 108 torments form. Each motion corresponds with one of the 108 Buddhist torments or defilements. In literature, in Homer's Odyssey, the number of suitors coveting Penelope, wife of Odysseus, there are 108 outlaws in the Chinese classic Water Margin, Outlaws of the Marsh by Xian. There are 108 love sonnets in Astrophil and Stella, the first English sonnet sequence by Sir Philip Sidney. In sports, 108 is the number that the Belgian cyclist Wout Wayland wore when he crashed fatally in the Giro d'Italia on May 9, 2011. As a tribute, many supporters held replicas of his race number by the side of the road the next day. The organization of the Giro d'Italia decided not to issue race number 108 in future editions, to commemorate him. An official Major League Baseball has 108 stitches. In other fields, 108 is the atomic number of helium, the number of mbit per second of a non-standard extension of IEEE 802.11 grams wireless network using channel bonding. 108 is the name of a community of and for open-source developers, created by Red Hat. There are 108 cards in a deck of Uno cards. 108 degrees Fahrenheit is the internal temperature at which the human body's vital organs begin to fail from overheating. In India, 108 is the toll-free emergency telephone number.